just for a minute. Close your eyes for a second.
Hi Posh fam, welcome to yet another episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are going to be joining the ladies in the island of Grenada, where the men are so dark that you want to touch them. So this is episode 13, guys, and on this trip, Phaedra is present. Now, is it giving what we're expecting from Phaedra? Not really. The one-liners, absolutely. We're going to get into all of the talking points. Now, first things first, though, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do subscribe, like, comment, and share this channel with your friends. You never know, you could be my next shout out special. But again, seriously, keep it locked in here. Hit the notification button for my next uploads. Again, support, and let's get this channel growing. Like I said, the girls are all going and heading to Grenada. This is a trip organized by Kellis and Shamea. Now, at the start of the episode, we saw Shamea having to gather all the goodies that they had collected from the group to donate to the victims. I think there was a hurricane that happened sometime back last year, I think. And, you know, goodwill always goes a long way, we will say. For Brit, though, apparently, are we surprised? She couldn't even feed her guests at the country club classic event where she launched her barely naked shapewear. And so we were not expecting much, but we're not surprised at what she brought as far donation is concerned. She literally brought three paper towels and a few tiny mini tissue boxes and gave the excuse that her truckload of goodies is coming in later. To which Shamea was like, well, why do you want to have to ship twice when we can all wait and ship at once to save the shipping cost? She's like, I was like, oh my God. Please. Bravo. This should be this lady's last season. We are tired and done. We're going to touch base with Kellis. Now, we got to see a family side of Kellis that we haven't actually seen before. Now, she is going through the most with her divorce, and she's coming on this particular trip right where her girls was meant to be going back to school. And so she's going to be absent for this. However, she has her manager / brother, because this guy actually looks like her, Lamar, to be that's going to be taking these kids while she's away. And now Lamar actually said something to the effect of he had contacted Kelly's ex, and the guy is angry, still angry and defiant, and he's taking it out on the kids. Now, I want to say this for divorced folks, me, myself included. The kids are the ones that suffer the most. And if you don't put your differences aside and just look out for the well-being of these kids, the end result oftentimes is not one that we wish on our children. And these are the things you love. They are created in your own image and likeness. Now, you don't like the person that you created with. That's fine. Why do the innocent kids like this? He's refusing to show up to even take the kids to their first day of school. Who's going to lose here? You think you're going to punish the mom? No. It's the kids that would remember this particular day for the rest of their life. I don't know what to say. I kind of feel for her. Well, she has given Lamar the rails to manage her household while she's away. Now, Kellis has teamed or titled this particular trip as the Reset, Rebirth, Renew Fiesta. For the reset, let's just say it was all about Drew. And in Kellis' words, Drew, everyone except Cynthia has got an issue with you. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Who is everyone? Yeah, Posha and Shamea have got issues with Drew. How has that translated to everyone? This is quite stretching the beef, Kellis. Or do you have beef with Drew that we don't know about? Is that something that you need to tell us? Because it was just like, Drew, poor Drew, She cannot even catch a break. She sneezes, everyone literally comes to her. But well, before the girls left for Grenada, the elusive sit down between Portia and Drew actually took place. Now, it was 15 minutes. I guess it was the 15 minutes that was necessary for my content. But to tell you what, Drew won this entire episode 13. I'm giving it to Drew because Drew was the talk of the town. Whilst they were on air, Drew was the talk. Phaedra has come in and I think has gotten a lot of intel from Portia, which has now made her a little bit biased towards the newbies. She hasn't given them the time of day to get to know these ladies. She has already formed a massive opinion and just tongue lashing them in her confessional. So I don't know how that's going to pan out because I think there's going to be a few beef coming Phaedra's way. And quite frankly, I'm not even supporting Phaedra on this one because she doesn't even need to have this beef, but she's going to try and create one for our viewing pleasure, of course. Now, Drew and Portia had a sit down. Here, they had to obviously address the elephant in the room, which is Dennis. But it turns out that Dennis wasn't even an elephant in the first place. Now, they have sort of squashed and come to a kumbaya with regards to the situation or the rumor surrounding Drew and Dennis. According to Portia, she's now deflecting to say apparently Drew is dating someone called Black. I don't know. Like, I'm confused. And Drew is completely denying having to have any sort of romantic relationship or involvement with Black. Rather, pointing fingers at Portia for having some romantic relationship with Futures. Now, I am not sure why this part was censored because they kept censoring Future's name, which then tells me that these ones are all probably lies and lots of untruths, and no one wants to get sued by Futures, I guess. Allegedly, if I like it. Nobody should come for me. I am just a commentary or a recap enthused and giving my BS alleged biased opinion, of course. So there you go. So I honestly, I couldn't even understand because there was just a back and forth between who you're dating. And I guess Drew was upset at the fact that Raph had to sit down with Portia, which of course she doesn't really know that it was actually Shamea that invited Portia to come and create some, or stretch out the drama or spend a little bit of Raph's money. Now we saw that, that particular stint was Portia trying to take a dig at, Portia and Shamea trying to take a dig at Drew, Again, Raph is the one that decided to play the fiddle here. So you're not going to blame the ladies for this one. And I guess Drew would have come to the realization after watching that episode that it was actually Raph that was instigating this backhanded and back and forth, or should I say, man exchange. So I do not think Drew took too kindly to the fact that Raph and the girls filmed together. But again, it is what it is because Drew, you know that you are also filming with Dennis. Dennis has filmed with you a number of times. And this is now a centralized beef that, it's not even for the record books because we can see through the fake beef. We can see through it. Now, they didn't get anywhere. They didn't even get to drink turmeric ginger tea that was showcased by the host of this particular restaurant. Neither did she drink the black tea that was later served in replacement of the unavailable turmeric. But let's just say Portia walked off because she couldn't handle the back and forth that was coming her way from Drew. Drew was ready for her, but Portia did not know that Drew came strong. Now, it was from this particular sit down that we saw the ladies. It didn't really end in good terms. It did not. And then the next bit was a few clips of Angela and her daughter trying to sell Angela's house. I just feel like Bravo should help Angela sell her houses, her investment properties at this point, because chick needs her money back. Or maybe Charles is like on her ass to tell her to you better sell this property because if you don't, our marriage is on the line. Now guys, it is Angela's and Charles's 8 years anniversary. And it left again nothing to be desired. Like I said earlier, this particular marriage is on knife edge. We're going to see a lot more of how this plays out because she's away in Grenada while Charles is back home in Atlanta. But then there was a conversation that was had, and you could just again hear Angela begging for some form of affection from her husband. It was just sad. I'm sad for this beautiful lady. But yes, the ladies are in Grenada, and night one, whilst Shamea was trying to struggle to find her luggage, which was left back in Atlanta, the other ladies were getting ready. And this is the one thing I'm going to say. There wasn't a drama with regards to room selection because I liked the way Kellis and Shamea handled this particular room selection because, as we all know, girls trip, there's one problem: the hotel rooms, who gets the best room, who gets the washroom. And so this time they all had to have a shot, and underneath their shots were numbers selected, at random, and whoever got to pick some picked the best room. And I think there was the one room with the twin bed. Again, Drew got that room. She did try to arm wrestle Cynthia for one of the best rooms in that particular villa. She won, but then she ended up giving the best room in that villa away to Cynthia. It was at this particular sit down in their villa that she told Cynthia about the sit down she had with Posha that didn't go so well. I guess Cynthia is sort of the peacemaker in this particular group for the season, and she again plays it very well. She plays it very well. We do now get to confirm that Cynthia is indeed dating some guy from Amsterdam, I think, or she calls him Amsterdam. We couldn't see his photo because she has she's trying to protect her peace. Now we can understand she's had a few failed marriages and relationships on this show. So Cynthia, protect your peace as much as you want. But she gave us too much information. It was pretty TMI for my liking. Well, enjoy what you're enjoying, Cynthia. We hail you. Now, night one saw the girls have a sit down for dinner. It was at this point that they wanted to have the reset moment going. And Kellis, took the rails with a crystal to have the girls come to the table with whatever grievances they had. And very quickly, we saw Shamea, wanting to understand why Drew doubled down on the lap dog comments. And again, Drew, I don't know, doubled down, 10 foot down, 100 steps down. She wasn't letting go. She kept, on that stand that, yes, Shamea, unfortunately, you're a lap dog. You went for a wedding, and in that wedding, you went for an interview or a promotional tour, and in that particular interview, sorry, I said wedding. Excuse my French. In that particular promo tour, you had me center stage. Like, I don't understand why. Yes, there's a reason why I called you a lap dog. Unfortunately, you did say what you said, and that initiated the response of me referencing you as a lapdog. Now, according to Drew felt the conversation was taken out of context. And Shamea reminded everyone that whatever you say behind my friend's back, I'm going to be hollering and relaying it back to her. And I think this was where Phaedra made some sense, telling or trying to find out from Drew if Drew and Angela thought that whatever was shared wasn't going to be relayed back to Posha. To which they didn't think so. But I think this was where Angela wanted Posha to know that, they were not coming from her. It was what was said was based off of the emotions they got from Shamea, and they only reacted in support, and it wasn't meant to be malicious or taken the wrong way. But these girls, they needed something to talk about, and it kept going back and forth to the point where Posha felt, wow, they're only seeking answers from Shamea. Kellis then said, okay, well, if you think we're seeking answers from Shamea, why don't you tell us what exactly is going on? And Posha then said, well, guys, we have talked about it. We have found peace and we have moved on. So should you. There is a few conflict brewing. And the reason I'm saying this is because on social media, Posha and Kellis are at each other's throat. So I don't know, man. The 1 minute they are besties, the next minute they are at each other's necks. Like, what is going on, girls? Can we at least keep the peace? there wasn't a lot of delivery in terms of content or noteworthy moments from Phaedra. Phaedra is just sitting down trying to get to know these girls. But her one-liners during her confessionals were a bit below the belt because she kept taking a jab at Angela, trying to reference her as someone with an old face for a youthful body. That just didn't make sense to me. But it is Phaedra we're talking about here. She's notorious for things like this. Can't get to see and wait to see more. Might I add, apparently, during the classic event or trashy, thirsty event where people were left starving, literally, organized by Brit said to Phaedra that her husband invited Apollo and Apollo's wife. Now she was like, I'm not trying to be shady. I did not know you were coming or joining us, and I have nothing to do with that invite. I was like, okay, is this necessary? Is this necessary? Like, at this particular dinner, this is where it ended. It ended with, can we say, reset? I don't know. We might give it a shot at reset. There was definitely a shot at resetting the group dynamics. Yeah, Phaedra has come into the group, so maybe she's gonna bring some veteran vibes to it. We don't know. So we're gonna give reset a 5. Okay, a 5 out of 10. And that's just my average. I'm very critical. Very critical with my scoring here. I can't wait to see how this particular girls trip pan out with the ladies in Grenada. But is it in Grenada? Yeah. The islands of the Caribbean. That one that Shamea forgot or did not know where it was located. Okay, that one. Thank you so much for watching this commentary, and I want you to come on the comment section and tell me what you think about this particular episode. Yes, Phaedra's anticipated return is starting to feel like a flop. It might be early days. Yes, okay, she has now had one full episode, because 1.5 episode in, and yeah, one thing she did say was the she's got a funeral business. Okay, she referenced or made reference to the fact that the funeral business is booming because people are dying to meet. Jesus. Only Phaedra can come up with one-liners such as this. Yeah, again, like I said, I don't know what you guys think about the episode, but come on in the comment section and share your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Remember, you're deserving. Stay safe and be focused. I'll see you in the next one.